Hello, folks. This is Chris, KY4CKP, and almost as scary as Halloween in October, trying to put an HF radio into your wife's car. But that's what's coming up next on El Cara Ham Radio. All right, folks, this is part 6 of the HF install into my wife's car, her 2020 4Runner, and we're going to just kind of go over a little bit about what we've done so far in the project, and then we're going to see how we kind of wrap things up. So, again, we started with her 2020 4Runner, of which she was very generous in letting me put a radio in there at all, but it was nice for her to do that. And so as we were working on this project, we saw that we accumulated the components for the project. I had a Yaesu FT991 Alpha radio. The thing I liked about that radio is it can do HF, VHF, and UHF. Also got a ATOS, Yaesu ATOS 120 Alpha antenna. And one of the nice things about using that particular antenna as a screwdriver type antenna is that the 991 Alpha can tune the antenna directly. So you don't need any other kind of control boxes or anything like that. So we've got the radio, the antenna. As we also know from some of the earlier video components, I also have a Yaesu power supply in case I want to take the radio out of the car at a park or something like that. I can power it with a local portable battery setup or something. So I've got a power supply with it. We mounted all these various components, the external speaker and everything in the vehicle. Again, one of the big goals of this project was to try to do everything as neatly as possible, hide everything as much as possible so that it wouldn't be something of an eyesore, at least not for my wife. So far, we seem to have accomplished that goal pretty nicely. So here we're looking at some of these components. The Windows-based tablet, just an inexpensive Windows-based tablet to run the control software that we're going to get to see in action a little bit later in this video. And also as part of the general project of putting a radio in the car, but also because we do camping and we're getting into some off-roading and overlanding and things, we saw in another video that we upgraded the battery system. We're not really 100% finished with upgrading the battery system, but we did upgrade the current battery to a nice heavy-duty dual-purpose Group 31 battery. The original battery in the vehicle wasn't all that big, wasn't all that strong, and wasn't an AGM-style battery. So we saw that. We've also been working on neatening up the cabling. Again, trying to keep everything as nice as possible. We routed the cabling through the Toyota manufacturer's door sill routing places where they run their their harnesses and everything. Saw that in a previous video. So we just wanted to kind of catch everybody up to what we've done so far in the project. If you haven't seen some of those earlier parts, they're available in the playlist. And then we've also, again, tightening up all the cabling. And what we're going to see some of in this video is using some wire loom to just hide some of the red cabling. Her interior is basically black and gray and that kind of thing. So we wanted to get rid of most of the red of the power cables and things like that. Now, she's got a red and black color scheme in the car. So from her side of things, she doesn't mind seeing a little bit of red in some cabling. And some of the USB cables and things that we've put in her car are red. And that's actually on purpose to kind of go with that color scheme. So we're not really trying to get rid of 100% of the red, but we wanted to kind of tone things down a little bit in the vehicle because there was sort of a lot of red with all these power cables. So we'll see that coming up in some of the clips we have coming up as well. So that sort of catches us up with where we were in this project. Now let's go ahead and we'll move into the final section here where we're going to show a little bit of using the wire loom. It's just a black wire loom that's split. So it's easy to cut, easy to work with. It's plastic. You can melt the ends to keep them from fraying, just like you can do with, with 550 cord and that kind of thing. So we'll bring you folks right back in the final segment here, and then we'll even take a listen to some contacts we made with this system using the tablet front end of this. So we're going to bring you folks right back. All right, so folks, here you can see we're using a lighter to melt the ends of this loom. It is a plastic loom, and it's kind of like paracord. You can neaten up the ends and make sure it doesn't continue to fray with any sort of a heat source like a simple lighter or something. So we use that to cover up pretty much most of the red of the different power cables and things in this project. We in the last video, we got pretty much everything neatened up, coiled up and stuff when the radio's not in immediate use. But we wanted to go back and just cover up some of these red accents and things that tend to make things stick out the most. Everything else is pretty much black and dark gray and everything, and it blends in pretty nicely. So we just wanted to finish it up a little bit more. Here you can see where the red power lead, the 4-gauge cable that comes from the battery, exits the channels in the door sill and snakes up behind the back seat. But there was a little section that was visible, and being red, it just kind of glared and showed right up. So we took care of that piece. We took care of most of the power cables and things at the radio itself, mounted on that board that we have for it that you saw in the earlier reel, that really heavy sort of plastic nylon board. And it just kind of neatens it up and just tones it down that much more, although it's in pretty good shape in most ways already. But loom is cheap, and it does help things from fraying and that kind of stuff. So you just cut it to length. I bought a couple of bundles of this that had 3 different sizes of loom, 10 meters of each length, each size, I guess. And I really only used one main size of it, but worked out nicely. So it's easy to wrap it around stuff and again cut it to length. So it really starts toning down all the red of these the power cables. And then also what I bought, as we kind of saw a preview, I think maybe earlier, and we'll see it here in a minute, is a real simple solution to something. But it was something I have been thinking about for a little while with this project. We've got the radio and a portable or just a power supply mounted to that board that we saw in the earlier video, that heavy board, and had all the cables on there. And one of the things I thought that I could do to help hide a lot of that, as well as using this loom, is to get a backpack cover. You can buy water-resistant, waterproof backpack covers, especially if you are into hiking and camping and trails and things. And they're reasonably at least waterproof, if not claiming to be waterproof. But they have some stretchiness to them, and they're meant to go over a lumpy object like that. And so I had thought, it seems like one of those would work pretty well to slip over this radio setup and do a couple of things. A, kind of hide some of the wires and things, and B, make the radio setup a lot less conspicuous in my wife's car when she's using it as her daily driver. Now, we could take the whole thing out, and if you're at a park and doing some things, you might do that. But for the most part, it'd be nice just to let it sit there since it's not bothering anything. So here's that backpack sitting on there, and I think it worked out quite well. So we're going to listen to some contacts we made with the setup using the tablet head unit, and we're going to let you listen to those right now.
All right, good luck and see you. Bye-bye. Thank you. Papa, 1, Charlie.
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa Mobile.
Okay, see ya, Mobile, go ahead.
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa Mobile.
Okay, I'm going to see if I can pick you up. Is that Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa?
QSL, I have you 5151 Kentucky.
Okay, I've got somebody tuning up now. Is it Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa Mobile?
QSL, Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I've got you 5 and 5 in the clear. 55, Roger.
Roger, I've got you 5151 Central Kentucky.
QSL, thank you. Good luck and see you. Bye-bye.
Thanks for the contact. Good luck.
Whiskey 7, Bravo.
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie Kilo Papa Mobile.
Okay, Okay, I got a Kilo Yankee 4, Kilo Yankee 4.
Kilo Yankee 4, Charlie, Kilo Papa, Charlie, Kilo Papa, mobile.
All right, mobile, nice signal. Looks like you're Chris, possibly the name. Now, when I log this in, do you want me to put a /M or just your call sign?
Just the call sign's fine, and I have you 5959 in Central Kentucky.
Good enough. Yeah, you're right straight 59. I've got you logged in. Thanks much, and have a good rest of the day. QRZ Whiskey 7 Yankee, Special Event Station, Wyoming.
All right, folks, that wraps up the HF install on my wife's car. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and we will see you folks in the next video.